Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back, and yes, it's day one of Strixhaven. It just dropped. I'm excited to start drafting it. Just to let you know in advance, I haven't watched any of the, common, uncommon, rare, mythic review videos or anything like that. I have looked over the set. I did go to Mythic Spoiler and then look at all those, so I've at least looked at every single card. I'm cautiously optimistic about this set. I think it looks like it'll make for a fun limited environment. I'm interested to see how the lesson cards work. I think it'll add an interesting dynamic to drafts where you always draft for sideboard, but now you're drafting for cards that you can use in the middle of the game that you can search up. So it looks like it'll be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to start with a best of one, but if you know me, I switch back and forth between best of one and best of three. The beginning of a format is usually a little bit rocky for me because I do have to read a lot of cards. And you know how I am with reading. Yep, no, it's hard just because there's a lot of cards and you don't remember exactly what they do. So it takes a lot of reading. But I'll do my best. Let's pilot some drafts here and learn as we go, as you know I love to do. I love drafting and learning new formats. So, all right, we'll see you in just a second. All right, draft is fired. Let's see. The rare is Tempted by the Auric. 4 mana. For each opponent, gain control of up to one target creature or planeswalker that player controls the mana value 3 or less. So it's a control magic for 3 mana or less creatures. That's cool. Ooh, Eliminate looks pretty sweet. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 3 or less. Nice removal. Solve the equation. Search your library for an instant or sorcery, reveal it, put it into your hand. That's pretty awesome. Stormkiln Artist, +1/+0 for each artifact you control. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, create a treasure token. I mean, I might be okay with trying the rare. It is triple blue, which is a lot, but also taking control of creatures. I mean, control magic effects, especially when they're a spell like this, where they can't get rid of it, like enchantment style. Pretty strong. This destroys creatures and makes your dudes bigger, but it's a gold card. I think the Frost Trickster is going to be good. I think I'm okay trying out the rare. It is triple blue. We'll see if it pans out, and 3 mana or less is pretty limited. But like I said, it's unusual to see a sorcery that has that. All right, let's see the blue cards first. We've got Soothsayer Adept, so it's 2 mana, Merfolk Looter style effect. We've got Maelstrom Muse, which is blue. When it attacks the next instant or sorcery spell, you cast X less, where it's its power as this ability resolves. That's pretty sweet. So it's a 4 mana 2/4 flyer, which is good. Makes your instant or sorcery spells cheaper, which is good. I like that. Infuriate, so it's a pump spell. Igneous Inspiration deals 3 damage to any target. So deal 3 damage to any target and learn. Obviously good there. I would think Muse is probably better, although it's multicolor. Maybe Inspiration's better. And when we hope to wield a Muse, I actually don't know. I think this card, it seems really strong to me. It's evasive, 4 toughness, so it can block right away. Makes stuff cheaper. If you have, if you kind of, I feel like it makes, expensive ones better. I'm not sure on that. I think I am going to go Inspiration here. 3 damage to any target. It is a sorcery, but the fact that you get to learn off that with lessons seems pretty good. Stone Rain. Wow. Stone Rain. So we can blow up lands for 3 mana. Well, there's a reason they don't print this anymore. It's really strong. Divide. I hope I can play all these. Divide by 0 is actually kind of cool. It's a bounce or a counter, and you get to learn. So if we get some lessons, we're going to really like that. Teach by example. Copy stuff. Snow Day. Tap creatures. Draw 2. Discard. It's expensive, but it's cool. Pigment Storm. 5 damage to target creature. Excess damage dealt to the creature's controller. It's a sorcery, but still definitely, I would think, playable. Burying Books is cool. Do I just take Stone Rain? Because, blowing up lands, it's more of a constructed thing than a limited thing, but you just don't see it costed for that much mana anymore because they just can't print that. It's too good. I feel like we take this Divide by 0 and go for some Learn. Learn is just really good. If you pick up lessons, you just get to put them in your hand. So it's almost like bouncing or countering and then drawing. But you do have to get lessons to support it. Like this one, for example, where you can get a Fractal token. Yeah, this seems like a good one. Definitely. I'm sorry, I haven't even, I've been talking about the cards I'm looking at. I don't even have a chance to read everything. So this one creates a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature. Put X +1/+1 counters on, or X is 1 plus the total number of instant. That one's good too. I mean, this one I'm more interested in because we already have 2 learn cards. So we just get to pull these, pluck these right out of our sideboard. And this one, the fact that it's inflatable, this is a great lesson to pick up. Just give you a win con. All right, let's read the other cards. So this one you can sack a bunch of creatures and draw a bunch of cards and lose life for each one. This seems like a good 2-drop. Has lifelink on your turn. It's solid 2-drop beater. This just seems like a good instant sorcery for Magecraft. This seems like a fine playable card, 3 mana, 3/2. Okay. Are there any lessons in here? There is. There's Pest Summoning, but we don't have either of the colors currently to do that. Although we don't have to play the Inspiration yet. All right, when you cast a spell, copy it if you control. I think this can potentially definitely be good. The problem is it's a worse than Divination if you don't have those, but if you do have them, then it's pretty good. We don't have any creatures yet. I guess you can count Fractal Summoning as a creature. So this is a steal creature effect. Pop Quiz, another learn, draw card effect. This seems like the right deck for Serpentine Curve, considering we have, 0 creatures currently. So something that just lets you create, well, it's kind of a build. It feels a little too build around for me to want it there. I think I'm actually going to take the Pop Quiz just because of the learn effect. All right. This is a cool card. Definitely gets rewarded for all of our instant sorceries we already have. And considering we have 0 creatures, it might be a wise idea because it's also just a 2 mana 3/3 blocker at worst, which is pretty good. 5 damage to any target and 3 damage to any other target, but it's 8 mana. Well, 8 mana is not too easy to get, but probably would have been a lot easier to get had I picked up that dual colored card. All right, this is a cool card. It's got some +1/+1 counter synergies in the format, and when it attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life, which is cool. I think we're probably just taking this Pledge Mage. This is a cool card too, the Archivist. Makes it so you can't get milled out. So claim the Firstborn's in here. Resculpt. So this effect is kind of interesting. You can use it against their bombs, but you have to give them a 4/4. But you can also use it against your own things when there's times where you can use this and get some good value. Here's another lesson, though. So target non-land permanent loses all abilities. So you can make it a frog or a 4/4. It's okay. I think the part that makes it terrible is that it's a sorcery. That makes me less interested in it. We could take another Fractal Summoning. There's also Campus, so we could splash white there. Wait, what's this do? Instant sorcery spells. Oh, and it's a flyer. Maybe we take it because it's a creature, actually. Wait, did I get it? Yeah, I did. This actually seems like a fine playable card. You get a 2 mana 2/1, and then you 5 mana you exile from your graveyard and get a 3/2. I actually kind of like that. This is an interesting card. You can get value out of this. I think this card is probably pretty playable, actually, but it's definitely a build around sort of thing. This is a kill spell, like I said. I do kind of like it, but we're still low on creatures. This is a playable 2-drop that you can get back from your graveyard. I like that. Currently, we don't have that many creatures, so I'll take it. Tome Shredder. Well, this is a sweet one. I actually think this card is quite good. This lets me find anything I want. This is a cool lesson. Plenty of good options here. Probably take the Shredder. I mean, considering how many instant sorceries we already have, I think this card probably is going to be pretty good. This would let me search up, like, my steal effect, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to take the Shredder. I have a good feeling about it. All right, probably just take the Campus, or I could take the Looter. Looter is good, but it's hard to go wrong with lands, especially ones that fix for both of our colors that we currently have. So I think I'm going to take that. This one would let me maybe splash green, but I think we probably want the Prismari Campus. Okay, we can take Burying Books. I think it's a fine card. I like the instant speed removal more than the sorcery speed. especially since this is cheaper when they're attacking. It's only temporarily deals with it, but 3 mana, I don't know. I could see the argument maybe for Pigment Storm too. I have to kind of play with them to get a better feel for them. This is a cool card. This has great synergy with the Tome Shredder. Is there anything else that it works with? Yeah, it works with Illustrious Historian too, so that's cool. It's a 4 mana 4/3 too. Certainly not bad. All right, we'll just take this. I'm gonna take Square Up. Don't really want to play it, but I suppose you could in a pinch. A couple green cards in here. Neither of them matter all that much. All right, interesting pack one. So we got removal, we got some creatures, we got a good mix. And pretty firmly put ourselves into Izzet, I would say, but last pick Fractal Summoning, really? That's surprising. I think that card's pretty good. All right, Conspiracy Theorist, yeah, so it's 2-drop, 2/2, and then when it attacks, you can pay 1 and discard. If you do, you draw, and then whenever you discard 1 or more non-land cards, you can exile one of them from your graveyard, and if you do, you may cast it. So it's kind of cool. It lets you discard and play stuff from your graveyard that, because you're discarding cards, so then you can exile them and play them, which is really cool, actually. I like this card. Another Mentor's Guidance. Whirlwind Denial. That's kind of cool. This is a good counter spell. Curate top 2 of your library, putting number of them into your graveyard. Rest. Okay, I think this is definitely playable. All these cantrip instant sorcery is going to be good for Magecraft. Elemental Summoning definitely seems like a card we'd be interested in. Good lesson. What else is in this pack? I don't know, I missed it, but I'm happy. Ooh, Plarg, Dean of Chaos. So we can play that half. Maybe we can get Augusta if we find white fixing, but this is 2 mana 2/2, discard, draw. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary, non-land card with mana value 3 or less. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put all revealed cards not cast this way on the bottom of your library. That's a sweet card. 2-drop, 2/2, looter with more upside. Definitely on color. Burying Books in here. We wheeled it last time. Sudden Breakthrough. It doesn't really work with Plarg because this is 5 mana. I see. This is a cool card. Combat Trick plus Create a Treasure, so you can splash. This is interesting too. There are some spirit stuff in here. This looks like it's going to be a really interesting format. This is a good card. Colorless, and it's not actual card advantage, but it lets you fix 4 splash colors, which I like. I think we just got to go with the rares here. We're getting some sweet on-color rares I want to try out. All right, Expressive Iteration. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them in your hand, one of them in the bottom of your library, exile one of them. You can play it. So this is a good card to like top deck mid to late game, I think. Because the problem is you're not... Like, you play this on turn 2, it's not going to do you a lot of good. But you play this on like turn 5 or 6, then you're really going to be able to do something sweet. So I think this card's great. You could actually play this on turn 3. So turn 2, you have 2 lands, you play it. You can get a land off of one of the 3. That's the one you exile and play. Yeah, this card is great. This seems like just a lot of card advantage. 2 mana draw 2, I feel like a lot of the time. I feel like this is an okay lesson to get. I know it doesn't seem great because they get to draw, but sometimes just in a pinch you need to deal with stuff, so I like it. I think this card is actually deceptively good. It can win games and it's a good blocker. This is an interesting card too. It's got some good dual function to it. I want to do I think the Frost Trickster is good, but I might just want the dual land. How many creatures we got? 7. These are sideboard too, so you have to get enough playables if you're going to be using lessons. Unless, I mean, you can always just main deck your lessons too, I guess, but so yeah, I think here it's either the Trickster, which I'm kind of feeling this card is good. Tempo buys time. Yeah, I think I'm going to take it over the land just because I want to make sure I get enough playables and have some space for my lessons. And we're not 3-color yet, so I'm not too worried about it. So Lorehold Campus would let us splash and do Augusta, which I didn't even read. Oh, so this is like a Lord effect for tapped and untapped creatures, and you can control stuff. It's a good card. Fuming Effigy, again, we could play that. First day of class. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control this turn. Okay. So those are a little tougher to play. There's this Burog Befuddler, which is kind of interesting. Do I want the Fuming Effigy? I mean, I can exile stuff if I find more Tome Shredders. It's good synergy. It's a 4-mana 4/3. Maybe I'll just take the Campus Guide, actually. The reason I'm taking it is it's a 2-drop that can find a land in a pinch, so it actually makes 2-land hands keepable if you don't draw land right away. All right. On-color rares, more of them. So I can pay 2 and a blue and X. If that cost wasn't paid, you draw X cards. I mean, it's a sorcery, but feels like basically for 6 mana, it's draw 3. Actually, giving my opponent, I feel like for 3 mana, drawing 3 and my opponent creates 2 treasures and a scry 2, that's still pretty fair for me. Drawing 3 for 3 is huge. I think the Pillar Drop Warden is actually very playable too, because it brings stuff back. Never been a big fan of Divine Gambit. Frost Trickster now, yeah, we'll take another one. Just real solid card. 3 mana, 2/2 flyer, tap something, doesn't untap. Really good. This is a cool card too. The Assistant, flyer, get your instants and sorceries back. We can read more cards while we have time. So at the beginning of your turn, set mill a card. If a land card is milled this way, you gain 1 life. Otherwise, it deals damage to an opponent. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. This is a cool card. I feel like in the long matches, you'll end up milling yourself out, but that's a cool card. Divide by 0, so I can get another learn bounce removal thing. I do like this card. It doesn't deal with tokens. And as commenters mentioned, it's flavorfully done too, because 0 divided by 0 is undefined, so it's mana value 1 or greater. I like that. Excuse me. So there's Befuddler in here, which I think is actually a playable card too. There's also Pop Quiz, but let's take this Divide by 0. I kind of like this bounce draw thing. All right, for each spell and ability your opponents control, counter it unless so it's 3 mana counter for unless they pay 4. I mean, it's not great, but otherwise, what am I doing? I guess I can do Curate instead. It's an instant that draws. But having a counter spell effect doesn't seem terrible to me. Could take the Resculpt now. At least a good sideboard card, but it's not a lesson, and we're invested one, so I guess that's not really going to work. Could take another Campus Guide. I feel much more comfortable playing like 17 lands when I have cards like Campus Guide. And I can splash easier too. Like I could just easily run a Plains if I wanted to run the other half of a Plarg. I kind of like Plarg more than Augusta though, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe once. I mean, they're both good. So I could actually take the Serpent here. Like I said, I think this card is actually deceptively good. I think Pop Quiz is fine to take too, but I actually think the Serpent is pretty solid. First save class. Well, it's a learn card. I doubt we're going to play it. Some late black stuff in here, but it's okay. I don't like that this is activated as a sorcery, but that's my one hang up with that. All right, I think we're off to a good start here. Regrowth, Hall of Oracles. So put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Activate only as a sorcery and only if you... This is a sweet card. We have plenty of instants and sorceries to use this with. And it's just a land too. That's cool. So this, we don't have a ton of treasure generators. We do have a couple artifacts, but this creates treasures whenever you cast instant sorceries. Yeah, it's a sweet card too. I mean, there's some good cards. I kind of want to take the rare here though, because this is actually relevant for our deck. We have quite a few instants and sorceries, and being able to just for free just tap and pump if you've cast instant sorceries with our draw card effects too is really good. This is a sweet card. I think it would be good for our deck. Hopefully we wheel it. We'll see. I still don't like this lesson very much, just because the fact that it's a sorcery is just odd. They could have made it more expensive and not a sorcery. I would have liked it a lot more. All right, Prismaria Apprentice. Whenever you cast or copy, Can't be blocked. And if it has 5 or greater, put a counter on it. It's a cool card. Could take another Tome Shredder. It's also another Spectacle Mage. Spectacle Mage in here, it does actually work with Ingenious Mastery and Fractal Summoning and stuff, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, what shall I take here? I could go Tome Shredder number 2 and hope to wheel the Apprentice, because this gets bigger, which is cool. I'll go with the Apprentice. I want to try out the gold card since we're on color with it. Teach by example. So you can copy instant sorceries. It's kind of cool. Opt, though. I mean, Opt is going to be real good for us. I think Enthusiastic Study is a solid combat trick, too. But I kind of want to just take Opt. 1 mana. It's a good card. I guess we're a little bit removal light now, aren't we? We have Burying Books. We've got Steal Your Small Thing. 3 damage to any target. Actually, we're not bad. We've got some counter. Yeah, you know what? We're actually not that bad. I'll take Opt, though. Really good for the Magecraft. All right, we could take Negate. Another chance to get Spell Satchel. What's Dragon's Approach? 3 damage to each opponent. You can exile it. Oh, you need a bunch of them to... okay. Probably not worth it. We could take the Pop Quiz. We could take the Introduction to Annihilation. We kind of already have a deck, so this is just like a toolkit card that we can pull out. I kind of like that. Equipment. I don't know how many tokens we have, but we have a few. This generates a token, and we've got the lessons that do it, but I kind of want the toolkit card. Emergency use toolkit seems good to me. Grinning Ignis. Well, this lets you play more expensive things, but otherwise it's not insane. Another, yeah, we could take another lesson, or we can take another Tome Shredder here. I mean, we already have creature generating. We have the Fractal Summonings, which are essentially the same as Elemental Summonings. Not really. I mean, this is more efficient technically, but this late game lets you get bigger things. I kind of want the Tome Shredder. I don't know. I have a good feeling about this card. I might be wrong, but with the amount of instant sorceries we have, I think it's going to be pretty good, especially since you can use it right away. I like that. So we can take the Enthusiastic Study now. This is... I almost wonder if this is better. Well, Treasure versus Learn. Probably getting the free card is better. Man, Introduction. This is actually a decent one, too. I kind of want this Enthusiastic Study, though. How many lessons do I have? I have 3 only? Is that right? If I only have 3, maybe I do take the Introduction to Prophecy, but we don't have that much removal, so I'm kind of interested in taking the Study. I'm going to try the Study. I don't know if it's right. I feel like the balance... How many are you actually going to pull out in a game? And remember, with the Learn cards, you can always discard draw, too, so you have options. This seems like an okay card to me. It's a little bit slow, but it's cool that you can get instant sorceries back. Probably don't need another Introduction to Annihilation. Could just take the Pigment Storm now. It's also another Pop Quiz, which is probably fine. I'm going to take the Pigment Storm. All right, got an Introduction to Prophecy. We can take the Warden. We can take another Wormhole Serpent. I do think this card is probably just fine. Can block and make things unblockable. Fine top-end card. But this is a good lesson. I don't know when I would take it over my other ones necessarily, but whatever, we'll take it. All right, this is cool. Cool card. This has Double Strike. We do have limited pump effects, though, I think, right? We don't have that many. Yeah. We just picked up the Enthusiastic Study, but otherwise I'm not quite sure. This is a cool card, actually. I think the Make Your Mark is kind of cool if your guy's going to die anyway. Whoops. I waited too long. My bad. Missed a pick there. I guess I'll take this on-color lesson that I don't really want to play. Resculpt. Probably not going to play it either, but whatever, we'll take it. Spell Satchel. I'm kind of interested in it. I don't know if it's going to make the deck, though. All these teach by examples. I mean, I can copy stuff all right, but I don't know if that's what I'm interested in. It's a cool deck. I wish we'd gotten a little bit more evasion. Well, Burying Books is cool. I can play that. This effect is typically good because it gets rid of one of their draw steps too, even though they get the creature back, so it doesn't permanently deal with it. Temporarily dealing with something is actually kind of valuable. So very, very interesting situation here. So we want these lessons in our sideboard. All the lessons can go to the sideboard. That's more of a sideboard card. Oh yeah, that's a sweep card. Do I need the campus guides? I don't know. Do I want to try Spell Satchel? I feel like it's going to be pretty tough to get that engine going, and I don't really need to ramp. So, all right, these go in the sideboard, but they're good cards. Lessons we can find. This one's a lesson. Cool. Nice. What's our creature count looking like? 15? All right, we don't want to cut any creatures, really. I mean, we can because we have card draw effects, so if I have weaker creatures, like, I don't know if we need the Barog Befuddler. I think it's fine and playable, but we probably don't need it. You can kind of count this as a creature, too, because it steals. I don't know if we need the Whirlwind Denial. It's not even a hard counter for 3. It's a pretty hard counter, but I don't know if we need it. I might just prefer actual removal cards like Burying Books and Pigment Storm. I think we can get away with 17 lands pretty easily. We don't have a super high curve. Even though we have triple blue, but we're only double color, so that's fine. So basically, we have to figure out some cuts here. We don't want the Teach by Example. I think it's a cool card in concept, but I'm not really feeling it. Campus guides are not really all that necessary here. They're like pikers that... why I like them, if you have a 2-land hand and you don't draw a land right away, you can find your 3rd land. That does actually make it semi-valuable, believe it or not. But maybe just running 1 is probably fine. We do want to be able to go off with some of our cool instant sorcery style effects here. I do want all these lesson learn cards, just good card advantage. Maybe we cut the Whirlwind Denial. I'd rather run combat tricks than counters, but counters are going to be real good. Counters typically, well, I mean, it varies from format to format, but I feel like they're typically pretty good. How many card draw effects do I have? Like actual, this is draw. I try to count card draw as like half a creature card. I think that it's an okay way to look at it. These kind of draw too. I feel like I could technically cut 2 creatures and probably be okay. So maybe I could cut like the Befuddler and maybe 1 campus guide, even though it's a little bit of our lower end. And then I still have to make some cuts. So maybe we do cut the Whirlwind Denial. I want the card draw stuff. This kind of counts as a creature too, technically. What's my removal looking like? I've got these sort of, this is. Actually, I have quite a bit of removal. Maybe I don't need the 2 Burying Books. I do like this effect, though. Because you can just play it if you're on the offensive and just, all right, get rid of that creature temporarily for 5 mana. Is still pretty good. But I kind of want all of these learn cards. I really like to try out all this learn. Because we actually have a fair amount of pretty good stuff to find. I think keeping the Pigment Storm is probably okay. Having 1 of them is probably just fine. It's like a kill spell. Do we have a fair amount of evasion too? The 2 Tricksters, the Spectacle Mage, Serpent, sort of. Apprentice, sort of. Burying Books has good synergy with Apprentice, though, because you can pay the reduced cost and it's still a 5-mana spell. Wow, I think, right? Just costs 2 less to cast, but its converted mana cost is still... Its mana value, I need to get used to that. Its mana value is 5, so... I don't want to cut more of our low end. I don't think I'm going to splash the Augusta. I don't think it's necessary. I'm perfectly happy with what Plarg can do in this deck. We actually have quite a bit we can do with it in terms of casting, you know, non-legendary, non-land stuff. I definitely want to keep the Tome Shredders. It's actually kind of tough. I need to make 2 more cuts. Maybe I do cut 1 Burying Books. Maybe I cut 1 Divide by 0, as much as I like. Because it's a spell, too. It's pretty sweet. They can play an expensive spell. You can just let it not even enter the board and learn. Man, that is good. Do I cut the pop quiz? Is that like the least interesting of the... It does just draw, though, which is good. I mean, I could technically cut 1 more creature, but then I feel like I'm getting a little bit lower on creatures than I like. Although, I mean, we can search up the fractal summonings, too, which is cool. Do I like the study more than the pop quiz? I don't know. Study versus pop quiz. I think since I have other card draw effects in here, I have the iteration. I've got divide by zeros. This draws. 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 Probably have enough card draw effects where this is fine. This looks like a fun deck. A lot going on here. Took me a long time to make it, but I finally got there. All right. We'll run it like this. Is it? And Strixhaven draft number 1. Let's try it. All right, we're here in round 1. Yeah, we can keep this. We don't have any red mana, but we do have a grip full of blue cards, which makes this keepable. Plus, like, this is a cool card. We can steal their stuff, potentially. I can actually play this. Let them get 2 treasures and scry 2 if I so desire. This is cool. It can, like, bounce and... What's this do? Oh, that's a cool card. Oh, I want that. I want to get Tome Shredder out here if I can. I guess we can do... Could do the... Wait, Ingenious Mastery can't be right? Because then... 1, 2, 3, 4... I would end up discarding, so we don't want to do that. I think we just pass. We can leave up Divide by 0, and when they cast something, we can kind of counter it and learn or whatever. It's an interesting card. I can always bounce it after they equip it or whatever, too. Can also Burying Books. I mean, we've got a lot of options. I can also just steal this card, but then... Do I really want to steal it? That's the question. I guess we can just chill for now. I mean, I could just steal it. But I can also bury it in books. And this makes the best use of mana, but it is just a 2-drop after all. But, I mean, it's a solid 2-for-1. Alright. The problem is I can't... I'm just taking a 2-2. I mean, it's not bad. I feel like I'd rather them use their mana here. Because, I mean, with these learn cards, we're just kind of looking good. Like, I can bounce it and learn, and then I can pick up my fractal thing. Which doesn't seem bad to me. So I can bury it in books if I so desire. If they don't do anything, I'll just divide by 0 the Amplimancer. All right. All right, so we'll learn. We can get our fractal summoning, or we can get introduction to prophecy, but I like the summoning here. All right, campus guide actually looking good. That's sweet. So we can get our red mana. Oh, I'm actually not playing with Bob Ross lands. Oh, geez. I'm getting worried, guys. So I can do Ingenious Mastery. I'm not in love with it, though. I think at this point I probably just hold off and draw a bunch of cards later. Yeah, I think we're okay. Not too broken up about that. Kind of want them to play and equip. That would be nice. Oh, can't quite do it to that one. This is only 3 or less, right? Yeah, it's 4. So I can bury that in books at some point. I can do the Tome Shredder. So I can Tome Shred plus bury in books. I'd probably do that. I think I'm going to actually do it now while they're tapped out. Just so it's a little harder to kill. And then I can bury the Spectre of the Fens in books when it attacks. So I can steal that now. I think I will. Because then I can pump too. Wow, that's a weird concession. All right, we'll see for the next one. All right, round 2. It's a good-looking hand. Definitely a good-looking hand. So yeah, I can actually do the expressive iteration on turn 3, but I'm probably going to do the Tome Shredder, I'm guessing. We'll see. I mean, I can do Guide into Tome Shredder. Do I even need to find the land at that point? Probably not. Maybe I'd rather do the Pledge Mage. Ooh, that's a good card. Alright, I think I'm actually going to do the Pledge Mage. Get a 3/3 Defender. Burying books, cool. Got a good feeling about iteration, but we don't need to do that yet. Oh, that's a sweet rare. So what is the play here? Can do the Tome Shredder. We probably just do Spectacle Mage, huh? Get the flyer. Makes sense. Makes burying books cheaper. It's kind of cool, actually. You can cast this for 2 mana now. It's pretty strong. Well, they're missing their land drops too, so I guess that's a good sign. So I can cast Campus Guide fail to find, which is fine, and leave up burying books for like emergencies. I kind of like that. Get in with Spectacle Mage. Well, same plan as before here. Tap that. Guess they might be able to eat my campus guide. If they have a instant or sorcery, they could eat it with the light scribe, but oh, if it's targeting an attacking creature, I'm like, oh. Next turn we can do iteration off the top if I want, which is cool. So we'll start with this. Alright, this is the one that goes in our hand, so we'll do the effigy, I think. This can be unblockable though. We'll do effigy. This one goes in our library. Oh wait, I can do them both, huh? We'll put the land in our library, and then we exile this one, and then we cast it. Man, that's so good. Still trades, too. I'm okay with that. Might as well. Oh man. This is just so cruel. Wow, 4 Xaxes? Wow. Well, opponent got mana screwed there, so they didn't really have too much of a chance, but that was some pretty sweet synergy. Alright, we'll see you for the next one. Alright, it's a keep. So, I guess we do Apprentice first, probably. Actually, Historian is fine. Historian might actually make the most sense. This is the most color intensive, but Historian is the one I want to trade the most. Because then I can just get it back later. Oh, that's cool. So, I can't actually bounce it. But I can trade it off with an Illustrious Historian. I could play the Pledge Mage as well, but I think I actually do Historian, because I'd rather offer the trade with a land, because I don't think they want to trade with a land anyway. But I also can attack into it with the Historian, which I can't do with the Pledge Mage. Alright, we're going to opt and dig for a land here. Alright, Campus Guide is sort of a land. I think we'll keep this back for now. So I can draw a discard off of Learn as well, which might actually be potentially a better idea here. So I think we're going to divide the Pledge Mage by 0. And probably draw discard, or discard draw rather. Oh wow, I get to put that on top of my library. That's pretty good. I guess we'll take 5. Well, so I can bounce the Pledge Mage. I can play the Prismari Pledge Mage. And I can trade with the Zoomancy, and we have to take another hit from the Witherbloom Pledge Mage. I might have to be okay with that. Does not make the best use of mana, however. So maybe just divide by 0 now, because then we can hit the land too. Because I can draw a discard, or discard draw rather. Or select a card to discard from your hand to draw a card. So I don't really want any of these. I think we'll do which one am I discarding? Probably the Guide, I'm guessing. Yeah, that way I can hit my land at least. And Bass. So now at least I hit my land drop. Temporarily dealt with their 5-drop. I have to take 4 from the Zoomancy. Probably 5 total, because of the pests too. But I can keep the forests back. If I draw another land, I mean, at worst I can play 2 creatures, which isn't bad. Which isn't too terrible. So, 5th land, we can go Shredder. Okay, I think we do Shredder plus Pledge Mage, and then we could double block their Pledge Mage and just lose one of our guys, which isn't the worst. I mean, we take... Well, it depends on what they attack with, I guess. At least it's just gain life. So, they're attacking with that too, huh? I think we deal with the 5/5. It just... We trade a 3/3 for a 5/5. I think that's an offer we can't exactly refuse. So yeah, we'll double block that. Use the Shredder. They're going to kill our Shredder, understandably, but we dealt with the 5/5. Not the worst. Enthusiastic Study. So I guess this would let us trade with their Fractal. Well, I don't have a ton of luxuries here. I think that's what... Yeah, this is how we have to do it. Yeah, so we play the Apprentice. We do Enthusiastic Study on the Pledge Mage to trade with the Fractal Summoning. Oh, maybe I can't now. So I think we have to... we might actually just be dead, I guess. Does that block their biggest guys? And I just take 4. I mean, I guess we're not dead, but... Wish there was a way I could at least keep my guy alive. I can't even do that. I mean, I can block this, but then we take lethal, so that's not going to work. I wonder, do I just do enthusiastic study anyway? Just to, like, find a card? I don't even think that really gets us out of this, though. Because we're going to 1 life. Well, no choice, really. Maybe I do save it. I mean, there's nothing I can find. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Alright. We'll go to the next one. I guess I can cast this for its 3 cost. Alright, we'll go to the next one. Alright, well, this one's a tough one because we have basically 4 blue spells with no blue mana. This one might be a little bit too dangerous to keep. The sad part is, if I had both lands, it'd be a snap keep because iteration just looks insane here. But if we can't cast it, we're going to be in some trouble. I'd probably try and get both lands. Alright, this one's better. So we can ditch... maybe the Burying Books. Yeah, I'm okay with that. We lose the temporary removal spell, but we get Divide by 0 so we can find more things. It's the second time we've seen the Zephyr Boot. It's a good card. I like that. Leech Fanatic with the lifelink too. It's pretty good. Alright, we'll do Pledge Mage. So they can equip and loot, and then we can divide by 0 and find probably Fractal Summoning. I just feel like it's our best one to find. But I'm also doing it on my turn so I can attack. Blue color. And they discarded the planes, no less, huh? It's kind of crazy. We'll do Hall of Oracles here. Hall of Oracles actually looking pretty good. So let's bounce this little fellow. And could actually do Introduction to... No, we just want the summoning. I want creatures. So we'll get in for 3. And next turn, I can Enthusiastic Study, get another summoning. And attack for 6. It's pretty good. Plus I can buff my Pledge Mage too. I like that. Overgrown Arch, it's an interesting one. Ingenious Mastery, pretty cool too. Let's do Study. I mean, I can do Ingenious Mastery. They only have 3 cards left. Let's him ramp it. Drawing 3 cards is huge advantage. I mean, I think I just do this study and probably just get another... I have to do it pre-combat or else I can't get the thing, but just another summoning, honestly. Why not? You have to do this as a sorcery as well, so we'll get in for 7. Then next turn, we're just playing 3/3 summonings and smashing with a 4/4. Not bad. Because if I do Wormhole Serpent, then I can't actually attack with the Pledge Mage. It's kind of cool, so they can gain 2 life a turn off the Overgrown Arch. It's pretty good. 3 life. We got like all lifelink going too. It's good synergy. One card left in hand. Okay. So let's make sure we play the blue mana. We'll do the Fractal Summoning for 3. We can get in for 4. Next turn I could draw 3 cards off the Ingenious Mastery, or I can get a 4/4. Not sure what I like more. Probably get a 4/4. Might be slightly better. Yeah. Oh, Sedgemoor Witch. That's a super strong card. No cards left in hand, though. So... it's a tough race to win. So could actually do it for 3. I think it actually makes more sense to do it for 3 and then buff, because then we can attack with the other one. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, actually. Yeah. So we can attack for 8. That is Menace, too. Jeez. I don't know if we can win. Well, let's see. I get in for 8. It's half their life. They can get in with the Witch and the Leech Fanatic for 5. They gain 3. So it's like an 8/8 sort of thing. Man. It's probably too dangerous. The Menace on the Witch really puts it over the edge, I feel like. Surprised they... Huh. Uh-oh. It's pretty good with the Witch. I wonder if I have to do Ingenious Mastery at the reduced cost. That's probably too good for them still. I think we're just going to do... Mastery for 4. Because I need to find an answer for that Leech Fanatic. I can do Wormhole Serpent, but it's just not a winnable race at the moment, so let's do the full cost one. And I'm going to miss out on a buff, but I'd rather have a card. So draw 4. Found the Trickster, which is good. So now at least I can tap the Leech Fanatic. I don't feel like we can comfortably attack here. So for 8 mana next turn, what can I do? I can do Trickster, Conspiracy Theorist. Probably the best is Serpent Trickster. That buys us the most time and potentially finds us the means. We got to deal a lot of damage. Oh, that's good. They actually get to gain 2 life off of that. So their Honor Troll is going to get buffed here too. Because then they can re-equip their... Man, that's tough. So we'll go land... So we want the 8 mana, yeah. So we'll do Trickster, tapping Leech Fanatic. And then we'll do Wormhole Serpent. And pass. Still can't really attack just because we're at way too low of a life total. So they can equip the thing to Honor Troll, attack. And I probably have to jump. I don't know if I can afford to take 2 when they have that many creatures on board. Sedgemoor Witch is a sweet card. I think this looks like a card where it's like, if this doesn't make Constructed, I don't know what makes Constructed anymore if this isn't good enough. That's weird. They didn't want to re-equip. That's what I would have done. Couldn't they have just killed us? Or am I dead anyway? I don't think I'm dead, so I don't know why they did that. Unless... I don't know. I must be missing something. Their last card must be able to get us. So... I guess we just... block like this. What's this again? Well, I think I'm out of... no more gas in the tank here. Alright, we'll see you for the next one. Alright, it's a good hand, we'll keep it. We can go Apprentice and start learning some things. Eye Witch, it's a cool card. I can't divide it by 0 either. But I can Igneous Inspiration something. Inkling Summoning, that's a good one. So, I guess I can divide by 0 the Inkling Summoning, so I probably do that. And then find my Fractal Summoning, maybe? Can also... No, I don't want to draw or discard draw or whatever. Divide it by 0, that's fine. I guess I can actually... Yeah, I can actually bounce my Apprentice, huh? That's probably better. And then we'll get... yeah, we'll get the Fractal Summoning, that's fine. Alright, so then we'll go... This... Apprentice... What's this do? It's a good card. I think I want to kill that. So let's Inspiration, kill the Dark Mage, and we'll get a suppose we get another Fractal Summoning. I can trade 2 for 2, but I'm kind of behind on the race now, so I'm not sure it's what I want to do. But would I rather trade 2 for 2 or 1 for 0? I mean, 2 for 2 sounds better than 1 for 0, but I'm also slightly behind, so it's tough. I'd probably just do it. Especially since our Apprentice is going to be getting bigger next turn with the summonings. What's that do? It's a good card. Let's do this. Let's play some summoning for 4. The next turn we get a 5/1. Death Touch. Alright, so it's got Death Touch. So we can divide it by 0. And get Introduction to Prophecy or Annihilation. Lets them draw, though. But it is like a catch-all, which isn't bad. Catch-all doesn't seem bad to me. And then I can attack here. And let's see, they take 7. I kind of want to surprise them with the Apprentice death, but it probably just makes sense. Well, because next turn I'm going to be doing a big Fractal Summoning. Yeah, I think we just get the damage in now then. And I guess we can get that too. So then they have to kill the Apprentice to not die. Why'd they choose that one? Well, they chose poorly there. Alright. We'll see for the next one. Alright, it's actually a keepable hand. The Opt kind of makes it keepable. I mean, we really want to find a red mana off of it, but I think it's hard to mull a hand like this. Especially since Ingenious Mastery can help us find the red mana too. Alright, we got the red mana, which is good news, so now we can do Plarg. Could do the Historian instead, but do I want to loot? Well, no. Well, yeah, actually, I think I want to do the Historian. Kind of a weird choice, I know, but my thinking is I'm going to be attacking, I feel like. I'm not going to be looting. And I'm going to be playing Trickster and stuff, so I'm going to be locking stuff down. So I might as well be attacking into things with a creature I'm willing to trade off. I guess that's what my thoughts were. Maybe it's foolish. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Promising Dust Mage. It's a cool card. So we can attack. Or I can just do the Tome Shredder now, which I probably do. So Tome Shredder can eat up an opt out of the graveyard here. Field Trip. So soon I can start getting some free cards from Plarg. It's kind of cool. Oh, I can make their guy bigger. It's pretty good with the Leech Fanatic. Apprentice is cool too, so... How many counters? 2 counters. So I probably just attack with the Trickster again. And then I can do Apprentice plus Plarg. Can also leave up Enthusiastic Study. That might actually be better. So then I could possibly trade off my Historian. Not the best use of mana, but I have a feeling they're going to be getting in with their Leech Fanatic here. I might be wrong. We'll find out. Like, if they're putting counters on Leech Fanatic, I'm going to need to deal with it. The thing is, I can do Enthusiastic Study on my Shredder and then eat the spell and eat Fanatic as long as they don't have anything else. Especially if they go for it here. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to get them real good now. So we block. We Enthusiastic Study. Get Fractal Summoning. And then we eat the Enthusiastic Study. And they lose their guy. We draw cards. We're getting stronger. So let's do... Now we can do Apprentice plus Plarg. So we can get in with these two. And then... Excuse me, Fractal Summoning. Especially, even if we don't draw a land, Fractal Summoning at this point buffs our Apprentice and makes it unblockable, which is really good. Oh, cool 7-drop Dragon, huh? Card seems pretty good. Tempted. Wait a second. So... Oh, I can't cast that anyway. Alright, well, let's do the Fractal Summoning. It's 4 or 5 or more? 5 or more, okay. So I can have 2 consecutive turns of making my Apprentice unblockable. That's pretty good. So we can attack with Tome Shredder and Apprentice. They can block with a Pest or whatever, but at least we're getting it off the board. Plarg can do some stuff for free, but I can also loot if I wanted to get rid of the Tempted by the Auric. I don't know if I do, though. Sealing Duskmage does seem pretty good. I see. Okay. Oh, they're attacking too. That seems a bit nuts. Oh, I see. They have a follow-up too. But it's just a 2/2. So I could discard draw, but I'm just gonna do this. Alright, we did get the land, so now I can steal with Tempted by the Auric. Another option is to do Ingenious Mastery and draw 3 cards. Tempted by the Auric can steal the Duskmage. Or this. This is pretty sweet too, though. Taking their Apprentice. But if I take the Duskmage, I can attack with more things. Yeah, I think we do this. Take the Duskmage. And then we can attack with Storian, Trickster, Shredder. Apprentice is unblockable. I mean, I suppose do we attack with everything, including Plarg? I think we do include Plarg into the mix here, because my thinking is, let's see, they have 5. They can get down to 9. They're going to have to make some blocks here. Let's say they kill my Duskmage. They would have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They wouldn't have lethal. But my thinking is I kind of need to race as quick as I can here. Like, Plarg dying kind of sucks, but I have Ingenious Mastery to draw more cards, so it's not the end of the world. Plus, if I'm getting an Apprentice off the board, I feel kind of good too. They certainly can't afford to take too much damage here either. Yeah, especially if they're chumping. I mean, that's good news for us. Because if they don't chump, they're taking a lot of damage. I mean, they are gaining life too from the pests, but... Still attacking. They're going to have 3 blockers minimum, maybe more. It's a big dude. So they get another dude. Ooh, Trickster. That's a good one. So let's say it's when it dies. So let's say I tap the Pledge Mage with the Trickster. I'm just looking if there's a way I can win here. And then I just cast Mastery to draw 3 and make this unblockable. They would have 3 blockers. They're at 6 life. 3 blockers. They're taking 2. They go to 4 life. And then they can block my 3 biggest guys. So no, it wouldn't work. But it is kind of cool. It just won't quite work. So what is the best move here instead? It might be best to just do Ingenious Mastery with the alternate cost. Oh, wait. If I'd paid full price there, I could have just killed them, couldn't I? Whoops. Because they're at 6. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. Oh boy. That's not great news. Yeah, I could have killed him there. That might come back to haunt us. We'll see. So yeah, I should have just cast this for 6 and killed my opponent. Big time mistake. Remains to be seen how costly it's going to be. They go to 3, they kill that. Wow. Real lucky there. Real lucky. Wow. Almost cost myself the game there, but thankfully still got there. So we'll see you for the next one. Well, looky here. I'm playing against Travis Sauer, so we'll keep this hand. Looks like we're probably going to end up doing the turn 2 campus guide. Looking for a 3rd land. Probably, well, maybe not now. Do we still look for a land? We probably do. We'll get our 2nd red. Takes away our draw set, but it works towards this Wormhole Serpent, so it's probably worth it. No plays. Well, I'll just burn my opponent. And get a fractal summoning. Oh, they discarded Brew, huh? Let's do fractal summoning. Ooh. Wow, I could steal that if I had a third blue. It's pretty sweet, actually. Let's do the Serpent this turn. It's best use of mana, and making stuff unblockable seems pretty strong. Master Symmetrist. That's pretty good too. So I think we just make this unblockable and get in and play a Fledge Mage. What's this do again? So, do I want to take, because we got 6 mana. I kind of feel like we take it because I have the Enthusiastic Study. I'm kind of ahead on the race right now. Especially if I steal something with the Tempted by the Auric. Let's see. What's Dragon Guard Elite do? Yeah, I almost don't want them to know that I can kill them next turn, but I mean, I'm also a land away from using Serpent twice. Not that that necessarily matters. Enchantment-based removal won't really do it against Serpent either. Because then I can just make the Campus Guide unblockable. He's digging. Wow, we beat Travis. Pretty sweet. Alright, we'll see you for the next one. Alright, we got a good keep here. 2-drop into 3-drop, both mana, removal. Looking good. Maybe Pigment Storm is better than I gave it credit for. You know, those usually 5-drop pieces of removal aren't the best, but The fact that you can just do this on like an X1 and deal 4 damage to your opponent on top of killing an X1 is pretty nuts. So maybe it is worth it to play. You got to be careful with your 5-drop removal, though. How many can you actually run and reliably cast? Uh-oh. That was weird. It was like glitched for a second there. Scurrid Colony is a good one. We're going to do the Historian for sure now. So I'd much rather offer that up to a colony than my Plarg. Now we can do the Spectacle. Well, maybe I offer up... Do I offer up Plarg? Or the Spectacle Mage lets me do Pigment Storm next turn. Or I can just do Burying Books. Yeah, that might make more sense. Because I don't want to... Well... Maybe we just take 4. Because I think Pigment Storm's going to be pretty good. Alright, so we can do this, Pigment Storm, Professor, and going for 2. Then next turn we can do Plarg plus Burying Books, I guess, which is fine. Sure. We kind of need that loot effect, huh? Of Plarg. So we'll play Plarg. I don't think we're going to try and race anymore, so I think the plan is Burying Books the Servan. So trade here. No blocks there. Burying Books, this. Alright, Pledge Mage is good, so we can do the Pledge Mage. And we can start looting. I can probably do 1 more land, I think. Can I use any time? It's pretty amazing. They don't have an attack. We can Plarg. Opt is sweet. Man, I guess I'm not going to attack with the Pledge Mage, so that doesn't really matter. Bottom the land. Divide by 0. That's cool. Can actually cast it too. I don't want to do that. That's okay. That's alright. There's our Trickster. That's good. So we'll do that. Get a flyer. Tap their Mathematician, I guess. And pass. Leave up Divide by 0. And at this point, we're going to be able to dig up our Fractal Summoning with Divide by 0. Say try and cast a spell or whatever. We still don't have one. Believe it or not, I'm actually tempted to do Divide by 0 on their Mathematician just to learn, but it really isn't a great idea. I don't think it's a great idea. So we can loot or we can use Plarg. I mean, playing Larg to get Plarg rather to just get free stuff seems better than looting now. Although I can loot and do Historian, so maybe I do that. Instead of the randomness, just get the free 3/2. That's probably better, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So we're going to pass. We're going to leave up Plarg. We're going to leave up Divide by 0. Historian. All the things. So think we divide by 0. Sadly, they can actually recast it, but that's okay. Do the fractal summoning. So I can take their biomathematician if I want. I have 7 mana. So I can also just do a big summoning. That might just be better. Seems like a good trade to me. Home Shredder? Yeah, that's pretty nuts here. So we've got 7. I think we just bash with these 2. They can start chump blocking or they can get a trade off. Yeah, that's fine by me. Campus guide, so I can steal that if I really want to. I probably do. It doesn't hurt anything. No need to loot. So I think we'll just take this. This lets us hit with our Shredder and our Plarg, so I think it's actually pretty good. Alright, sweet. We got there. Alright, we got a good keep here. We can do the opt right away, although I suppose with our value cards we don't exactly need to either, do we? Because I can make my apprentice unblockable with it, but then again, I might as well do it because I've got my turns mapped out for a little while here, so I think it's fine to do it. Especially since we can then immediately pump our Shredder too. I like that. Pledge Mage is fine. Gives us a blocker here too. I like that. So we'll go this, Pledge Mage. We can do the Spectacle Mage or the Shredder next turn. Probably the Spectacle Mage. I think that makes more sense. We can make our Mastery better as well, which I like. The colony has reach though, so I have to pay attention to that. I might divide by 0. I could see that. Oh, nice. Good value there. Alright. So, I can do the Shredder now. I'd probably do the Shredder now. And then pass. Then next turn I can do divide by 0 plus apprentice if I want. Start getting some fractal summonings. then we are into Ingenious Mastery territory. We're going to have, yes, this looks pretty good. We got some good late game value stuff coming up here, so. Alright, we'll divide by 0 the elite. And we'll get our fractal summoning. So, I guess I do summoning first, because then we can completely refill our hand with the... Yeah, this is way better. Just stacking with these two. No reason to trade a Shredder for a Zoomancy when we don't have to. Alright, we need to draw a couple cards here. It's pretty cool, because you copy it. It's pretty good value, actually. Plarg is cool. Let's do Ingenious Mastery for 5. Oh, I can only do it for 4, never mind. It's okay. So I can bounce the elite again next turn with divide by 0. That's pretty good. Sure. Trying to think if I can kill them somehow. I don't think I can. So I can start tapping stuff with the Kelpie Guide. I think for that reason I probably just bounce the guide. Make my apprentice unblockable again. Might as well use this. Ooh, burying books too. So we can even bury it. Plus pump our apprentice. Yeah, I think that is... Well... No, I can't kill him, can I? I wanted to leave up divide by 0, which I can no longer do, but it's okay. So we'll do this and Plarg. Wow, cool. Well, we ended up getting 7 wins with this deck. Good way to start her off. Fun deck. I mean, just kind of as expected, finding those fractured, it's not fractured identity, whatever it is, the fractal lessons is just great. Just turns all those learn cards into pure value. Plarg played well. I never actually got to activate his other ability. I never cast Conspiracy Theorist once either. That's weird. Pigment Storm better than I gave it credit for. Ingenious Mastery played great. Total hand refiller. Tempted by the Orc was just fine too. So cool. All right. Hope you enjoyed it, folks. Obviously, there will be many, many more as the days goes on. So we'll see you for the next one.